We're often chased away by security guards when trying to film unannounced.
I'm telling you, you are not allowed.
Right now. Okay.
So imagine our surprise when in Rustenburg a security guard runs away when we ask her what her job is.
Okay, tell us what you're supposed to be looking after.
I'm looking after this thing and also this yard.
These bricks are what's left of a bus station, part of the town's rapid transport system, Yarona.
What we have here in Rustenburg is our very own SAA.
It's taken 14 years and nearly 3.5 billion rands to get here, a rapid transport system that's anything but rapid. Despite the billions already spent, the Rustenburg Municipality is now asking for more. The vision? Affordable fast-lane buses similar to Johannesburg's 𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗶, which has been operating for just over 12 years. Here, though, things are happening at a much slower pace.
We are going to be pouring taxpayers' and ratepayers' money into this for the foreseeable future.
Long-time resident 𝗀𝗁𝗶𝗴𝗶 is a DA Member of Parliament.
The concept started out in 2008 already. It was scheduled to start out in 2014. And then 2014 became 2016, that became 2017, that became 2020, that became 2021.
Then in July this year came a high-level visit by Transport Minister 𝗀𝗁𝗶𝗴𝗶. He demanded an urgent forensic audit into how the municipal grants have been spent.
National government provided the money, but didn't do the oversight. And it was left to the municipality.
𝗀𝗶𝗏𝗀𝗀 has been acting as the project's head for 10 years.
You've spent 3.4 billion. Can you say where it's gone?
We built continuously reinforced concrete bus lanes with running on 2 corridors. That infrastructure doesn't come cheap. It's with concrete.
That may be an understatement, especially for infrastructure, reinforced or not, that's unfinished and vandalized. Soon after the minister's visit, the first buses hit the road.
We still have to complete the stations. The bus lanes are complete. It's important to emphasize that all the BRT lanes are complete.
𝗀𝗁𝗶 agreed to take us on a guided tour of his prized transport system in early September, but we decided to check things out ourselves a day earlier.
Good afternoon.
Heading downtown, we found this makeshift ticketing station and just one of the 10 buses 𝗀𝗁𝗶 says are operational.
All aboard the Yarona. We're on an official media tour tomorrow, but we thought we'd have a little sneak preview today. But, well, virtually no passengers, and the bus lanes aren't ready yet. So this bus is taking up a lot of space on the roads.
In town, the bus uses its specially designated fast lane for only a few kilometers. Just outside the CBD, only the general lane is an option. On the outskirts, it makes do with narrow, rutted village roads where it adds to congestion and holds up the municipal 𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗀 bus service. But at least the Yarona lanes aren't completely idle.
You may say it's billions wasted, but pedestrians, cyclists, even motorists are having a ball.
The buses, unable to use lanes that are neglected and unusable, pass stations that are unfinished or sometimes in a state of ruin. Our official tour begins with a warm welcome from 𝗀𝗁𝗶𝗴𝗶 and his colleagues. Together we wait 25 minutes for a bus. Finally, the bus arrives. It's the same one we were on the day before. The driver takes another 25 minutes to do a painstaking inspection. All the while, 𝗀𝗁𝗶𝗴𝗶 insists the fast lanes are working and the buses are running on time.
Since all the bus lanes are complete.
But I think some of them have to be repaired.
No, indeed, it's very good high material that we've used. They don't get potholes.
Once again, with virtually no passengers on board, traffic builds up in our wake. Packed taxis speed by, as well as a number of municipal 𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 buses, heading for the same areas as Yarona and beyond. Taxi bosses say the Yarona buses are redundant. 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗶𝗴𝗶 speaks for one of the town's largest taxi associations, representing just under 600 taxis.
Rustenburg is one or two street town.
Yeah.
So definitely it did not need that, but our government is our government. What are you going to tell them?
The big question is, with ample public transport already serving Rustenburg, why is the government happy to continue funding this multi-billion rand project?
If taxi industry has been given a fair hearing from the beginning, by now the taxi industry should be the industry that was supposed to be subsidized by government. But no, instead, they come in with their own system of transport that will get rid of the black person's transport.
Ironically, Molele says Yarona was needed because the taxis cause congestion.
If you look at the taxi rank, it's excessively full. In fact, the fleet itself is overspilling to other parts of the city if we've driven around. So we cannot continue to increase the number of taxi fleet in our city.
Government must now pay the losses the taxi industry may incur. Taxis are removed from the Yarona routes to stimulate the market for buses. A lucrative solution for some taxi owners, but crippling for the taxpayer.
They've removed almost 80% of the taxis, and all those owners are being compensated by the so-called loss of income of 11,900. That is,
month?
Yeah, a month per car. Say maybe I've got 2 or 3 cars. I'll get that 11,900 times the vehicles that I had.
It's a cushy arrangement for the bosses, it seems, but hasn't gone down well with the drivers, as we discover on a visit to the rank.
These people who have come in here with this thing of the project of the RR3, they were talking to the association. They have never talked to the drivers.
What about us drivers? Because the owners, they got some small money. So what about us, the drivers?
And they haven't worked out a package for you?
No.
Only for the bosses, eh?
Only for the
owners.
In fact, the owners have even more say than the drivers might think. In the local council, affected parties have formed subcommittees to steer Yarona, and a number of taxi bosses serve on one of these.
Arrangements and allocations are discussed in the subcommittees. And the subcommittees don't report back to the portfolio committee, and they don't report back to council. And the Democratic Alliance has no representatives on the subcommittees at all.
Why not?
We've asked, and we were told it's not a function of council.
140 taxi owners get the monthly compensation, costing the ratepayers at least 20 million rands a year. But it doesn't end there. More than 1,000 taxis are still to be removed. Their owners have negotiated an increased rate.
Every vehicle with an operating license should be given 1.3 million to exit the taxi industry.
1.3 million?
1.3 million per taxi, per operating license. Say I've got 5 taxis. When they get me out of the road, they must give me those, that 6.5 million.
Wow.
That is 1.3 times 5.
That's a lot of money.
It is. But our government says they do have that budget, so we'll see.
So that money is being claimed before the buses are even running here?
Yeah, at the moment, those buses are not running in our route.
Flanked by 2 taxi bosses during our interview, Molele says Yarona has now asked for an additional 1.5 billion rands to settle negotiations with the associations. Only 200 million will be spent on fixing the infrastructure. But what about the day-to-day operational costs?
Do you really think Yarona can pay for itself?
We can at least recover up to 40%.
40%?
40 to 50% of our operational overheads. The balance would then need to be subsidized by national government.
Extended subsidies mean the municipality will again be knocking on National Treasury's door. This while scores of taxi drivers are losing their jobs.
I can't see it working in Rustenburg. We've only got a small percentage of the taxi drivers on board. And if I look at the violence that's erupting for buses in other parts of the country, what is going to happen here in Rustenburg? I don't see it ending well.